Okay, so we want to go outside, but we want to create some structure. So she's telling you I'm way too excited.
Sit.
Now she's going to dart out. Now, do you physically grab her?
I've been standing like this. So.
And so you're just opening it really slowly. Okay, so let's stop. I'm going to have you come back over here. I'm going to have you basically hold this. Keep the camera sideways. Do not tilt it or up and down orientation. And I'll kind of show you how it works. So before I open the door, I'm going to claim the area. So if you see on the floor, you've got the little tile here. Mm-hmm. My rule will be the dog is not allowed to touch the tile until you get permission to go out. So now I've achieved a little bit of a barrier of space. So you want to, I don't want to say mess with her, but you want to practice it. I'm not going to open unless she's sitting. Sorry, I don't want to distract you. So by claiming the area first in an assertive way, now my authority is going directly at her. So I'm going to take a step backward. So as soon as I took that step back, she decided to come and take some ground. So I immediately disagreed by moving forward. Now, I'm not even going to open at this point. I'm just jiggling the handle. You saw that just that sound was a trigger for her. So what I want to do is I want to break down anything that the dog reacts to into individual steps and help the dog practice that one step by itself before we move on to the next step. This is what I call putting a dog in position to succeed. A lot of people, I think, they put their dog in position to fail. They just try to do 5 things in a row, and the dog's overexcited for any one of them. So by the time you get the 5th one, the dog's out of its mind. So at any time the dog stops, I abort what I'm doing. I come back and I reset by making the dog give me some more space. And we're going to go back to the first step. Now for a dog, a big movement is a trigger. Their eyes are not very good for detail or for color, but it's really good for movement. So she's not sitting. I'm not going to tell her to SIT. I could tell her to SIT. I would prefer she does it on her own. So there we go. So I would make this a routine every time you go to the door. Practice slapping it. Same thing with this one, because if this is closed, I would repeat the whole process with just the deadbolt first, and then the door, this one, then this one. I do basically a version of this with clients whose dogs get overexcited at the front door. So they understand that they can't come through the door until they get permission. So you see her kind of lurching a little bit. That's her having a little internal argument with herself. Now, some people might think of this as teasing the dog, but what it is we're just basically practicing. Just like any other skill set, you learn, you practice it until you can master it. Before you drive, you learn in a parking lot. You don't go on the interstate. Now, she's a little frustrated because she wants to go outside, but you have to spend the time doing this. Otherwise, you're going to have the same situation every time. So now, usually we have the before and after by the end of these, but you're a lab. You guys are stubborn. Most of the dogs I've worked with, they're like, if you can't fix this dog, we're getting rid of the dog. Labs. None of them aggressive, just too exuberant. So we're already developing a little bit more self-control. Instead of the demand barking and the lunging and the whining, she's watching. Okay, so that's basically, I'm going to well, actually, we'll finish this. I'll actually let her out. But again, normally I would let any other humans that are with us go first, and then the dog would come out last. Come. All right, come on out. We'll work on this. Thank you.
Thank you.